Hey, back with part 3 actually. The first and second one was me explaining everything that happened with me on basically starting on Monday and Tuesday and going into Tuesday morning. And second video is basically what happened Tuesday. I ended off with me not working at all on Tuesday, and I just got my tires fixed that day after everything else had happened. So part 3, Wednesday. So Wednesday, I got up. I think I was scheduled to work from home that day, or I think I decided to work from home that day. So I did, but I only worked half of the day because most of it was me trying to finish up certain things and passing off work to other people so they can help me out while I was trying to deal with everything, the aftermath of everything. So Wednesday morning, I woke up and I was like, I was just like standing around. I'm just like, I really feel stranded. I feel alone. Though I did get the little track phone and I got my tires fixed, I'm just like, I feel alone. I feel so isolated. That's what it was. I felt very isolated. And I said, okay, talking to myself, you have to put your pride aside, and you just have to tell someone else, tell some people, because usually because I do everything on my own. I'm pretty private about myself and my life, and I'm kind of to myself a lot. And so I was like, yeah, just do it. You have to put your pride aside. Whatever it is, you need to put it aside and stop acting like, you can go through this by yourself. And I'm so proud of myself for doing that, because just seeing the support and everything was so good for me. It was so good for me. And it's kind of hard for me to receive. So I was just like, because I'm mostly the one to give, and I'm fine with that. I guess at times, it's situational. So when I receive something, it can be a compliment, receive a gift, or just anything. And it's just like, I don't even know how to really respond very well to it. It's just kind of crazy. And so I had typed up this, not typed, but like in a message, put up this text message. I was like, hey, it's me. I have a little track phone because my phone was stolen. And I was like, I just explained what happened to me briefly. And I'm like, I'm good now. I'm in my apartment. I'm working from home today. So I'm just staying in my apartment today and try to get the protective order and everything. And so I kind of copied and pasted that text message and sent it to my closest friends, which I don't have many of, that I really consider close friends. So just basically people who are important to me, close to me. And so that was about probably 1, 2, 3, no more than 5 people who outside of my family. And then I let my brother-in-law know, my sister know, and I think that's the only family members I had told at that time. And I didn't know. And then I talked to my sister somehow, and she was like, we're on our way. Within, right after me sending that text message, my brother-in-law and my sister were already on their way to me. And I was on the phone with her, and she was like, yeah, we're on our way. I didn't even know until I got on the phone with her. And I was like, that was quick. I just sent y'all the text message. What? I didn't think that they would do that anyway. So she was like, I think it'll be good so you can get certain things done while we're there. If he pops up, we'll be there, you know. So it was really, really good. And I'm just like, of course I wanted to be like, no, it's okay, I'm fine, you know. And I'm just like, you have to stop doing that at times. Like, you can't do everything on your own. Talking to myself, you can't do everything on your own all the time. Like, this situation is pretty big. It was too much for me, to the point, like, at time, I mean, I wasn't on my toes like I would normally be. And I'm snapping my fingers, sorry. I'm just like, I think you need the help. It's just me kind of like pep talking myself or talking to myself into a real situation, and not trying to throw it on the back burner or make it seem smaller than what it was. And so my sister came and my brother-in-law came, and they were like, yeah. So I was like, I have a couple of meetings, and at work, and I was like, I have camera meetings. So she was like, yeah, we'll be quiet, we'll be there, we're just going to be there for you, just be there with you. And yeah, so I had finished like some of my meetings and started giving off work or whatever to other people. And my sister kept saying, she was like, I think that you should probably, I think they will understand if you do a half day, because I think you need to, while we're here, we need to get a protective order. We can take you, and then you can get some groceries and stuff like that. Cause usually I kind of like eat out a lot. Oops. It is what it is. And sometimes, cause if I feel like it, I'm pretty busy, so I'll just eat out a lot. And so she was like, yeah, to get some groceries and stuff like that, or get something to eat or whatever. So I was like, okay. So I'm like, she kept saying it, and I'm just like, okay, I'm going to do it. I still got some stuff that I got to finish up. I'm just tightening up the last little bit of work. Like, okay, I get it. And so I ended up telling them, yeah, okay, half day. So they understood. So I took a half day. We went to go get the protective order or restraining order, stay away order, and whatever. Just get away from me order. So I went to go do that, and that kind of took a lot of time, actually, as I think about it. It did take a lot of time. We went to one court. They was like, oh, we don't do it, you just go to the court down the street. That court was not down the street. I don't know why people be saying that sometimes. That court was 13 minutes away. What you mean down the street, girl? Anyway, so we had to go there, and we had to talk to all these different people. I can't even remember everybody's name, the lingos and stuff. It was just a lot. I just wasn't remembering everything. And thankfully my sister was with me, because I wasn't really comprehending things. I wasn't listening really well. I just wasn't doing things that I normally could do well, like communication wise. And I was just kind of like all over the place. I didn't really know a lot of information that they was asking for on the forms, like what's his car? I mean stuff that I probably really didn't know, like what's his number? I'm like, we got phones. And he has my phone, so I don't know his number by heart. I was trying to, it's just I couldn't. And so yeah, I got the protective order. That took a couple of hours. And we got some food and got back to my apartment. We didn't do really much on Wednesday. And yeah, it wasn't much to do on Wednesday. The protective order was the biggest thing. So I got a temporary protective order. And that was for about 6 days until the court date for the permanent protective order where I live. So I'm not too sure if it's the same anywhere else. I advise anyone who does this kind of situation, like, definitely get that. It's just a piece of paper. I know it doesn't really stop them from, like, probably doing anything physical, because at that point, I mean, I still don't feel like, you know, it's the best thing ever. it's okay, but it's just like, you know, stuff still can happen. People still disobey it. And so, yeah, either way, legally it's there in place, so you can call the cops and you can do stuff with it. So with the protective order, I know my close friend was like, well, I call her, she's like a sister to me, outside of my real sister who came, and my brother-in-law. She was like, oh no, I don't feel safe with you being there. We need to pack your stuff up quick. And so that was another thing that I had to think about. I was like, oh shoot, dang. That does sound, I will feel better because he knows where I live and everything. And I was like, the protective order doesn't protect my car. It just protects me. And so I got the protective order for him to not harass me, contact me in any way, show up to my my workplace, or show up to my residence. So it doesn't cover. I asked them, and I was like, does that protect my car? And because, you know, I'm just trying to, I'm not too sure how to do any of this stuff. And so they was like, no, it doesn't protect your car. So I was like, okay. So at that point, when she said that, I was like, okay, so everything of mine is not fully protected. So he could possibly slash my tires again or do something more. Luckily, he can't put sugar in my tank because you have to open up the gas tank from the inside of the car. So I was like, at least he can't do that. But he can break my windows, and he probably could open up the trunk from that point. But, you know, I'm just like, if you can't protect my car, I was like, yeah, what my close friend was telling me sounds good. And so I was taking that into consideration. And so moving on, yeah, Wednesday wasn't that much. Got the protective order and got food. That's about it. Finished up some work, got off work early. Thursday, I think I did work. I was still not fully there. I was distracted because I was still talking to all these people, trying to get information and stuff like that. So Thursday, I emailed my apartment place, and I was in a domestic violence situation. It was a nice little email, and I want to get out of my lease without penalty. And with that, with the protective order, you're good to put in, you know, to do that without penalty, because otherwise it's just like, okay, so you'll have to get out your lease, and whatever penalties come with you getting out your lease early, you have to, you know, abide by that. With the protective order, I was able to get out my lease that month and have no penalties. So that the protective order is good in that case as well. It's good for, I feel like it's pretty good for like my case for certain things as well, you know, not just to keep him away. And so I was doing that, looking up new apartments, because I'm just I have to get, like my close friend was saying, yeah, I probably should leave. And I was like, that sounds like a pretty good idea. And so once I got like settled down and like sit down for a minute to like kind of think, I was like, okay, find new apartments. Did. So I found the list of them, and I don't know if I took some days off. I can't remember what days, if I took off any. Actually, I didn't work on Thursday. I had actually took that Thursday and Friday off like a month ago. That's crazy. Like, I took that Thursday and Friday off a month ago. I was like, I was doing more than, I wasn't working. I was like out here traveling and stuff, because I was going to look at apartments. And so I was like, I had taken that Thursday and Friday off like a month ago. Seriously. And I was like, dang, that's crazy. All of this happened. It's just crazy. And so I was able to go and look at apartments and everything, and I'm in my new place now. So it's been like a month now since the event, and a month now that I've been in my new place now. So was moving fast. I was like, I have to move fast on this kind of stuff. I mean, it did happen all at once, and I just, you know, paid for the other apartment that month and was here, so I was kind of at both places. So it gave me time to move slowly I was moving kind of slow, like moving a little bit by little bit and cleaning up the new place before I moved in, you know, just cleaning it out. Though I'm the first person who lived in this apartment, I just like to clean it anyway. So it gave me time, a whole month, to just move in here slowly and not all at one rush. So that was helpful. And yeah, and I think I spent most of my time doing that. So that protective order helped with this situation of moving without penalty. And I actually figured out, like, calm down and figure out how to get into my bank account without, because when I never really log on my bank account on my computer, on my laptop. And so I logged into, it was like, when I was logging into one of my bank accounts, it was like, it was saying, you know, we don't recognize this system. And so they was going to send a code to my phone. I'm like, no, because he still has my phone. No. So I found a way to, every time I sat down to, like, not think about the situation and have my mind all over the place and have to really control my mind. And that's another thing I'm still working on too. And that's another video. To control my mind and say, stop roaming so much. Like, just calm down, just think. And so I did that, and I was like, just send it to the email, cut the email off from the phone so the stuff won't keep, you know, updating on the phone. And change the password so it can log out the account on the phone and I only can log in on the computer. So I did that, got a password to my email, got into my bank account, found out that this fool has transferred money from Cash App to his Cash App. He's stupid. He just did a couple of transactions of a couple of $100, you know, like it was $2 or $3. I was like, this fool is, I did it multiple times. And then, like, because he had my phone, my bank was like, hey, it looks like there's some fraudulent activity happening on your account. Is this you? This, of course, because he has my phone, they say yes. He says yes. And so when I went, I was like, oh my gosh, he is taking money out my account. Like, he was doing multiple transactions of it. And I was like, are you serious? So I'm like, oh my gosh. So I called the bank immediately. They was like, yeah, because he did that, we're just going to give you a whole new card and we're going to talk to the banks. And it's probably, they were like, we're going to have to investigate this. I was like, I have a report and everything. If you need that information, I have 2 police report numbers if you need that information. And I'm just like, because he has my phone too. So I didn't know that the fraud thing, because I never did anything fraudulent with my card. So I never knew that they sent that kind of text message to me. Have I? I don't know. Either way, I didn't know if it would come through or not. It didn't come to my email. It only went to my phone when I received my phone. When I got my phone back later on, I saw that the text message said that. And so I was like, okay. I was like, okay, maybe that's why it took a little bit longer. Immediately they gave me my money back, not too long after I had reported it. But they was like, we still are investigating everything, because he had my phone and saying yes. And so they probably like, okay, girl, like, that could be you. I'm like, he took my phone. And this fool is just saying yes. Like, this is crazy. Like, what the heck? And so I was just like, this is really freaking crazy, what's going on. Cause it's like, I was finding out new things every day. And so I freaked out about that, of course, and was like, no, reverse those transactions. Though, because he had did it before, so I had caught it too late. Cause I don't go in my account too much often. Don't judge me. I don't care. Actually, you can do whatever you want to. So I don't go on my account that often. So when I did, I was like, I don't know what made me do it, but I guess. So I was, and I was cutting off email stuff, the Instagrams that I did have, going to deactivate them, delete them, all, because I had multiple Instagram pages. I don't know what's going on. I just be doing stuff like that. I don't know why. Like, because I'll have an idea for something and start a new Instagram and be like, oh yeah, so yeah. So that was happening. And so I was like cutting off things. And I know that Apple was giving me the runaround for, oh my gosh, it seemed like for days. I was like, this is crazy, AT&T. I'm like, oh my gosh, y'all are not making this easy at all. So ultimately, all I could do with the phone was just suspend my service so he won't keep sending text messages. And yeah, so I'm like, this is crazy, man. Y'all so secure. It's not, I don't know how secure and whatever. We're not gonna talk about that no more. So I just know it was a runaround to I only could just suspend my service. So I was going through that on Thursday and Friday as well. And it's just, I was just like thinking like, oh my gosh, like he's beating me to everything and I'm not moving fast enough. And I'm just like, it was annoying. And so I think that's all that I have to say now. And I think the next video, that's all. So basically, to wrap up all three of the whole situation, he was, for the night of Tuesday, he was charged with theft, robbery, assault. And then I told the cop who was helping me that night, I had said when I went to my car in the morning to go to work, my tires were slashed. And I was like, and he popping back up. And then I told him later, after I found out about the money transfers that he was doing in my account, with Cash App, I told him about that as well. So the second one was for harassment and fraud. So he has theft, robbery, assault, harassment, and fraud. And I was like, they have up to a year to add the destruction of property for the slashing of the tires, because they was like, I mean, we can add it, but the other charges he have are felonies, so they are pretty serious charges. So the destruction of property is not that. He kind of made it seem like it wasn't that big of a deal. So yet to this day, I don't know if he's locked up. I'm staying up on the cops. I'm still calling them. Hey, I'm trying to get an update, and I'm leaving voice messages. I know where the precinct is, so I think I've been meaning to go do that, and I just haven't. I just haven't. I think I just need to go and show my face, just pop up. Hey, I'm just coming in to check up. But it's just been a runaround because they've been also trying to say, they don't want to take on other people's cases. So it's two cops I've been in dealing with. The one who initially helped me that night, and he only works at night, so he gets in at 10, and I don't know when he leaves. I don't know how long his shift is either. So, and then it was another cop who specifically deals with domestic violence. So he works during the day. So I've been like calling him, leaving him messages. So I'm still staying up on it. I'm still gonna fight. I'm not going to just drop charges or just drop stuff. Like, he needs to understand that this is not something that you play with. Like, I'm not sure if other females have done this with you and just stayed with you or forgiven you or just let you go off and live your life like, it's okay to do stuff like this. You came across the right one who's going to make sure that you understand how serious it is, and that, you know, you can't be just out here doing stuff like that and think that it's no penalty for your wrongdoings, because the next time he could possibly kill someone. I wouldn't be able to live right knowing that I didn't try. So I'm not going to stop. I'm keeping up with the cops with this, and this video is getting long, so I'm just going to start doing other videos and just talking about other situations and stuff. So that's about all that he did and the charges that he has against him. And yeah, so yep, I'm just going to end the video, and I'll see you in my next one.